Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and I'm bringing you the first Valentine's projects for what will be Valentine's Day 2024. So I'm using the Simon Says Stamp card kit and taking a doily from my stash. These are old, they're from Stampin' Up! Days. And there's this heart that has all these fun, it's got a nice scripty font on it. And so I'm just going to ink that up using some Spun Sugar Distress Oxide ink. I do stamp it twice. It is a very light ink. I did want it to be light. In person, you can definitely see that it's there, but I wanted to make sure it was a little bit darker, so that's why I stamped it again. And then I am going to take this, I almost took the doily out of my mini Misty here and remembered I wanted to stamp a sentiment. So I'm using the Hugs and Kisses from that same stamp set and just lining that up in the middle the best I can. And I'm going to use my VersaFine Claire Nocturne ink and stamp that down. And then I will take that off. And I am using this pattern paper from my stash. I honestly am not sure where it is from, but it has kind of a sweater look to it with some hearts on it, so I thought it worked well along with the pink. I like this backside as well. So I'm just adhering that down. It is slightly smaller than my A2 size card base. This is cut down to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm just taking some tape runner and running it along the middle of this doily so that I can stick it down, but the edges are still lifted. And then I'm going to take 3 adhesive back gems from my stash and put those down in the lower right hand corner. And that is going to be that quick and easy card. And then I wanted to bring you a candy treat holder as my second project. So we are going to make a paper cup, a mug. So I have some patterned paper. This looks like alcohol ink paper. I absolutely love it. I can't think of the company right now, but this is cut to 8.5 by 4.5, 8 1/4 by 4.5, I'm sorry. And you score it at every inch, and that leaves you the tiny 1/4 of an inch at the end to adhere it together. And then you turn it and score it at 1.5. Then I'm going to just reinforce those score lines with my fingers. I'm not going to use a bone folder. I'm just going to gently press them. And then once I have that all pressed, I am going to use my scissors to trim up those bottom tabs. You got to do that for all of them. And then that very skinny 1/4 of an inch bottom piece I'm going to trim off so that I'm able to use that remaining part of the tab for my glue. And I'm just going to use some double-sided adhesive for that. So this mug can hold a lot. It depends on the kind of paper that you use, how much stuff you could probably put into it, but it definitely makes a cute way to give treats. You can put them in a cello bag and put pretty much anything. In the end, I will show you some little mini candy bars that I put in there. But you could customize this for any occasion depending on the paper that you use. You could also use heavier cardstock and then take pattern paper and cut it to be, you probably want 3/4 of an inch by, I'm not quite sure how tall those sections are, but you could mat that if you wanted to use plain paper for the base of your mug. So you can make these for birthdays, really. It just depends on the paper that you use and how you decide to embellish it. This one I left plain, let the pattern paper kind of do the talking. And I left this part in. I struggled with adhering all of these tabs because I put them, the first one, too snug. So just gently put them together. You want the mug to, hold its shape. See right here, I just have it too tight. So then it threw off all of the other ones. So you want them just kind of barely touching each other, and you just need a little dab of liquid glue to do that. But I will, lift it up, take it apart, and do it again and make sure that I have it so the cup does hold its shape. It's another one of those do as I say, not as I do moments. I'm just showing you what not to do, basically. So I don't know if you have any thoughts of projects you'd like to see in the future. I am working on some birthday cards because that was requested of me. And so I will have those. I'm going to try to do some Valentine's cards. Michelle and I are still throwing back and forth ideas of what we want to do for collaborations going forward. Not quite sure. We haven't ironed out what that will be, but now that the holidays are wrapped up, hopefully we can get together and figure that out. So I finally have those tabs all pressed in, and then I have an additional piece of that same pattern paper, which is cut to 1 inch by 4.5. And I am going to curl it a little bit just using my hands, and then I'm slightly off screen, but I just take and fold the corner, each end a little bit. I didn't bother to score it. I just did it, didn't measure it, just kind of fold it over a little bit, and then taking some 1/8 inch score tape, I'm going to add that to both ends so that I can add the handle to the mug. And like I said, you can customize these, whatever your imagination is, whatever you want to embellish it with, or the paper you choose definitely gives you the look that you're going for. So that is the project. It's all together. Like I said, I left this one plain because I really like this paper and I didn't want to cover it up at all, but you could definitely add paper punches and sentiments to the front of it if you wanted to. And then I will just add the candy in there to show you kind of what it can hold. And that will be our project for today. I hope that you'd enjoy it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them for me down below. And as always, I hope that you have a great day.